discovers sleeping disease, one woman's fight to keep her pet kangaroo, and an Englishman's unfortunate accident in the bathroom. All this and much more up next on KIPP Student News.
Welcome to KIPP Student News. My name is Riley Chambers, and today I'll be reporting on California's drought dilemma. Governor Jerry Brown has proclaimed California's drought to be over. He made this statement after the state crew found a 165% increase in the amount of snow that fell this past winter. The water reserves have more water than normal for this time of the year, but even though the drought is over, all Californians are urged to conserve their water usage and to always use the minimum amount necessary. Now here's Kojo with an interesting story about sleeping. I hope not in class.
Thank you, Riley. A sickness that you may find very pleasing has been discovered. This sickness is called Klein-Levin syndrome, which is otherwise known as Sleeping Beauty syndrome. At least once a year, a person with this syndrome is able to sleep for a total of 2 days, waking only to use the restroom or to eat. The duration of Klein-Levin is around 7 years, starting at about the age 13 and ending at 20. This syndrome is 2 times more likely to appear in males than females. Although Klein-Levin syndrome may sound amusing or like an excuse for sleeping in class, it is very serious. People with Klein-Levin often experience confusion, disorientation, complete lack of energy, and lack of emotion. A cure has not been found for this syndrome, although it is very unlikely for anyone to obtain it. It is still worth getting a try getting out of the CST testing. Now here's DJ with the story on mobile banking.
Thanks, Kojo. Studies say that mobile banking is the future of banking. More and more people are using their cell phones to access financial services. Mobile banking on smartphones has increased 120% since 2010. While its popularity is rising, researchers are still surprised that more people aren't using mobile banking. One reason people prefer mobile banking despite the more limited sites and slower servers is they find it easier to use and more convenient. Well, with the continuing development of technology, we can be sure to see an even larger rise in mobile banking.
This week's question of the week is, what is your favorite TV show and why?
My favorite show is Law & Order SVU because it has a lot of crime scenes and it's a lot of drama and
Okay, my favorite show is Scooby-Doo because I like mystery. Show is The Cosby Show. My favorite show is The Cosby Show because the way Bill Cosby acts in that certain show.
My favorite show is The Jersey Shore because it has a lot of drama and stuff.
I like KSN Student News because it's a fun show and I get to watch my teammates. Yeah.
Now here's a story that might get your attention. A 35-year-old English man was using a public restroom when he became unpleasantly surprised by something. The man found himself stuck to the toilet seat when he tried to get up. Apparently, a prankster had placed super glue all over the toilet seat. Firefighters were called to free him, but they were unable to get him off the toilet. So the man was taken to a nearby hospital. Doctors used special chemicals to free him while he was in the ambulance instead of carrying him through the hospital on his special throne.
The average person spends 3 years of his or her life on the toilet. For that poor guy in England, it might be a little longer.
A woman in Oklahoma named Christy Carr had been suffering from depression until she found solace in a very strange pet. The pet is a partially paralyzed giant red kangaroo named Irwin. She dresses, feeds, and takes Irwin almost everywhere. She found Irwin after volunteering at a local animal shelter. Unfortunately, the Broken Arrow City Council are worried that the kangaroo could become a public safety risk. Christy is fighting to be able to keep her pet by asking for an exception.
A chimp who can do karate, Charlie, or the karate chimp as he has come to be known, was born December 31st, 1985. He was adopted by Carmen and Christy Presti in Niagara Falls, New York, after his parents Bubbles and George died when he was only 15 months old. To keep the hyperactive little chimp occupied, Carmen decided to take him to karate classes. While out working out, Carmen noticed that Charlie was trying to copy the moves he was doing, and soon enough, he had Charlie punching and kicking along with him. Charlie became more and more skilled and soon earned his name as the karate chimp.
Thanks, Donovan. Hannah Actor's last words to her mother were words that claimed her innocence. Innocence for what, you may be asking? Hannah was accused of having an affair with an older married man. This is called adultery and is frowned upon by many people and societies. Well, in Hannah's case, it was highly frowned upon and is against the law in Bangladesh according to the Sharia law. By religious ruling and punishment, Hannah was sentenced to 101 lashes given swiftly. After 70 lashes, Hannah dropped. Her bloody, bruised body was taken to the hospital where she died a week later. According to the autopsy, doctors claimed that her death was a suicide, but Hannah's family refused to believe that and ordered another autopsy. Her family wants the world to know what really happened to Hannah. I really believe that no one should ever be bleeding so brutally, no matter what crime is committed. Now back to our anchors in the studio.
Thank you for joining us today on KIPP Student News.
We're taking the news of the world and bringing it to your classroom.
See you next week.
Unbelievable, and it's just
Have I told you?
Wait! Where's the chapstick?
Where's the chapstick? Where's the chapstick?